go to me, was so far the game of the year. Sunday Night Football last night. You had the Patriots going to Seattle. Seattle wins the game in impressive fashion, 35-30. You had Russell Wilson, Joystick Wilson, 21 of 28, 288 yards, 5 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers, 1 interception. And then you had Cam Newton, 30 of 44, 397 passing yards, a touchdown, a pick, rushed for 2 rushing touchdowns on 47 yards. So when you watch this game, now we know somewhat what to expect from Seattle. Now, obviously, Russell Wilson is playing the best football of his career. It's like Neo in The Matrix, where he starts to see the world in binary. He starts to see it for what it really is, and everything slows down. That's what's happening to Russell Wilson with how he's seeing football. So really, what we were focusing on is Cam. What are Cam and the Patriots going to look like? We saw the first game where he dominated the run, but in this game, seeing him dominate the pass was something that was not expected at all, especially against a defensive coach of Seattle team that's known for having good secondaries, and they got Jamal Adams, the best safety in the game. So I'm more interested, Jay, in what you learned about the Pats in this game as opposed to the Seahawks.
That they must really think that Cam Newton will not get hurt. Based upon usage, Cam in the last 2 games, he's had 63 passing attempts. Well, makes 66 with the sacks. 3 sacks times he's been sacked. And he has 26 rushing attempts. He leads the team in rush. He leads the team in pass. And I saw another stat that it shows that he has been used in 45% of their rushing packages, which is higher than – actually, I'm sorry, I think it's 36. And it's like 24 was his highest in Carolina. So they have used him majority of the way. So 26 carries. The next person is Sonny Michel at 17, Rex Burkhead at 13. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a problem in the long run. You don't need to use Cam that much. I know Josh McDaniels is having fun, and we talked about this in the group text. That Josh is having fun drawing things up for a guy like Cam Newton, who is probably the best short yardage player in league history. Like he is the top rushing quarterback, leaps and bounds and touchdowns, for the career. And I don't even know if Lamar Jackson's going to catch Cam by the way that Cam is used in the short yardage game. So for me, I'm just seeing that they need to calm down the usage of Cam in the rush, even though he's dangerous, and it makes it easy to really throw off defenses by having him run those random draws. You gotta get out of that. That's what I saw out of them. And their defense is depleted. You can tell with all those players that set out this year, their defense does not look the same.
Okay, so didn't the Panthers try to do this with him in certain seasons, try to get him to run less? And that's a part of what compromises his passing game. It's almost like he has to run in order to set up his pass. So if they take that angle, won't they run into some of the same obstacles in terms of hamstringing his game that he went through in Carolina?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. I don't think that will be an actual problem based upon just the way that I know that McDaniels can scheme. Let's put it like this. They need to find a way to scheme, if anything, screen passes in there. Something to get the ball out of Cam's hands so much and leverage their run game. But the problem also is that, as much as I like Sonny Michel, he hasn't really shown us much here at the next level. He's shown he's shown us very little.
He had that good rookie season where they won the championship against the Rams, and ever since then, he's been pretty mediocre.
Exactly.
He's had some injuries and so forth, but still.
From a combination of injuries, and just, he's got 900 yards every season, but that you would expect more from the way how prolific that passing game is, that the holes will be a lot more open for him. You would think he would take advantage of it, and it just doesn't seem like he's doing it.
Right.
So, for me, yes, Carolina did try that. I believe after his MVP season to try to help with his durability over the long haul, because as they got to the Super Bowl, you could tell he was getting more and more banged up, being used as much as he is, and the human body has its limits. It does seem like Carolina needs to find a way. The Patriots need to find a way to not use him as much, even though it does set up his pass game.
Well, what if they're banking on this, that we know we can run him this much this season, we just wouldn't be able to do it in another season, and they don't really care about the next season. They want all they can get out of him right now during this season.
Oh, no, I get that part, especially the fact that he hasn't played kind of in like a year and a half.
Right.
So his body has had time to actually heal and and prepare for this. And it looks like he's gotten stronger. I mean, he's vegan. He's doing all this random stuff. But he looks like he's huge. He looks like a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
He's a ginormous dude. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be beneficial to them in the long run. I do think that they need to calm down the leveraging of him so much. At least cut it in half.
Well, yeah, or scheme better runs to where he's not at angles and not in spots where he's going to take big shots and potentially get hurt.
Yes. But he does a good job. He's been doing a really good job this year of falling. Like, you can tell he's been diving forward or in borderline sliding.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't been taking very many big hits this year either.
Yeah.
He's calmed that down. And so going on the other side with Joystick, he's always found a way. And it's funny, I was looking at I was on Twitter and Bomani had mentioned this about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson took a shot when he was at North Carolina State that knocked him basically out the game. Mm-hmm. Ever since then, we don't think he's ever taken a hit like that again. Like, he's found a way to not get hit.
Right.
And that's what Cam's going to have to continue to do to show all of the naysayers that he's back. And he looks like it. I mean, he threw for almost 400 yards, and that looks like, vintage Cam Newton.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Cam to me. I'm like, who's he throwing to? I know he had like 8. He threw like 8 to Julian Edelman for like some absurd number, 179, 180.
179, yeah.
Who else was he throwing to?
Bird, Harry, yeah, exactly.
Who?
Rex Burkhead, Izzo, H to the Izzo, Tom to the Izzo,
right?
Z to the Izzy. Yeah. No, I have no clue who Ryan Izzo is. Looks like he's another Julian Edelman, but I no clue who he's throwing to. And to be honest, this kind of gives me like flashbacks of the times of him in Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Where he's throwing to a bunch of guys you never heard of.
Guys you don't know of.
Now,
except for Edelman. So
yeah. Now, part of why he was able to do this is because Seattle doesn't generate much of a pass rush, like from their front four. That's actually their weakness. Yeah, Bobby Wagner is there. Bruce Irvin was there. He's out with an ACL. Yep. And you have Jamal Adams, who's all over the place. But they don't have a consistent pass rush that scares you. Because like in the days of the Legion of Boom, they had that pass rush. You had like Michael Bennett, and there was one other guy that they had who would come off the edge, who would really scare you. So they don't have that right now.
They don't. Yeah. And as much Jamal Adams is everywhere. So that final play where the Panther or I keep saying the Panthers because I'm thinking Cam, but the Patriots could have or potentially should have won that game. Do you feel like is a situation where they should have passed it at the 1 yard line instead of running it?
I think so. I mean, don't use the play that Seattle used in the Super Bowl against you 5 years ago, but use a different pass play, maybe some sort of RPO, some sort of play action. Something like that, because he jumped like 3 yards before in front of the goal line. I didn't understand that. He was nowhere close to getting there. So
Jeff Schwartz on Twitter had broke down the actual play and how it was supposed to go down. And when I watched it, and he pointed, circle, and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, Bobby Wagner blew it up. He ruined the play. So the way it was lined up, Cam was going to the left, and I guess he was going to hit the 7 or the outside. Mm-hmm. The way the blockers were, the left tackle and the left guard were going to pin one guy. Mm-hmm. The fullback was going to come in and actually knock off the outside guy, and Cam was supposed to follow him right into the end zone. If it was set up, if it followed through strategically like that, Cam would have avoided that guy that fell that was hit by the other I think it's lineman that pulled. He would have just walked into the end zone. But what happened is Bobby Wagner, because he busted in the middle of it, the fullback had to go to him instead of going to the outside where he was supposed to and pin that guy where he can run in. And that's how he got tripped up right there on that left side.
Bobby Swagner.
It was crazy. I was watching. I was like, oh, that's a good breakdown. I didn't realize that was Bobby. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that he got in the backfield and he was not supposed to be there. If Bobby had stayed up, what they should have did is when they did that run like that, that end or tight end that was there, he should have broke off, and Cam should have stepped like he did before and lobbed it because they knew it was a run. But if he would have broken off, Cam could have either kept running or he could have lobbed it and caught the touchdown. But they didn't.